Good morning, students. Let us start with the explanation of the lesson. Fall of Troy, Part 1. The Fall of Troy, Part 1. Epics are long poems that relate the deeds of a great national hero or a great national war. They often tell of a nation's early history. They may be composed and sung or recited for many years before they are actually written down. Children, do you know epics are tales which were passed from one generation to the other in the form of poems? Ramayana and Mahabharata are examples of Indian epics, whereas this chapter tells us the story of a Greek epic written by Homer, a blind poet who lived around 900 BC. He wandered from one Greek city to or village to another, spreading his tales to the masses. The two famous Sanskrit epics are the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, and the two great epics of European literature written in ancient Greek are the Iliad and the Odyssey. Just an Indian literature, we just we'll move on to the next slide. The two famous Sanskrit epics are the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, and the two great epics of European literature written in ancient Greek are the Iliad and the Odyssey. Just as in Indian literature, we go back to stories from the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, so in the literature of Western countries, they go back to the Iliad and the Odyssey. Just as children all over India know the names of stories of Ram and Sita, Yudhishthira and Arjuna and Draupadi, so children in Western countries know the names of Hector and Odysseus and Achilles and Helen of Troy, the most beautiful woman in the world, because of whom the Greek and Trojans fought for 10 long years. Children, here I would like to tell you that as we admire and respect our epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata, there in Greek, they just admire and respect Iliad and Odyssey. In this history, in this Greek mythology, history marks the importance of people, their cultures, and their way of living. Many epic stories have been told since centuries. We already know about the great Indian epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata. Uh, this is one story, that is, there is one such epic story of southern Europe told in Greece and some parts of Turkey called The Fall of Troy. This epic was recited by a Greek poet called Homer. Nobody knows for certain who the author of these early epics is. It is thought that they arose and developed with the nation itself and were handed down from singer to singer till perhaps one great poet gave them their final form. Children, we are all habitual of listening to stories of Ramayana and Mahabharata, maybe in the form of small stories, in the form of books. Nowadays, we have even seen it on the TV serials and all. Here also, they have got their own stories. Each character has got its own story to tell. It is believed that the Iliad and the Odyssey were composed and recited by a blind poet named Homer, who lived about 900 BCE, before Christ era, and who wandered from one Greek city or village to another, singing his poems to all who would receive him in their homes and give him hospitality. This wandering singer has been honored through the ages, not only in Greece but in all Europe, as the father of European poetry. So, who was the father of European poetry? Homer. The Iliad is the story of Ilium or Troy, a rich trading city in Asia Minor near the North Sea that leads from the Aegean to the Black Sea. It was well situated both for commerce and agriculture. This city was very well versed. It was a rich city. It had all kind of means of communication, transport, all kinds of facilities, agriculture, commerce, etc. In front of the city was the sea over which sailed the ships of Troy, carrying goods and grain. At the back rose the high peak of Mount Eda, from which flowed many rivers and streams. The valleys among the hills were well watered and fertile, with corn growing in fertile fields and cattle feeding on the rich grass of the meadows, while sheep fed on the slopes of the hills. Children, I would like to tell you that if the atmospheric conditions, the climatic conditions of a particular area is favorable, where there is river, where there is fertile land, people over there, they are hale and hearty, they are strong, they are rich, they are independent, they have lot of vistas open for their growth. This country also, it as it was situated near Mount Eda, and where many rivers and streams they flowed, the valley was fertile. Naturally, people over there were very happy as they had good food, clothing, and shelter. Round their city, the Trojans had built a strong wall so that no enemy should attack them from the sea. Now, children, this a strong wall reminds me the strong wall of China also, as they have also built. Here also they had built a very strong wall around their city, so that the city is very well protected from the enemies. The wall was so broad that people could stand and sit and walk on it. The great gates stood open, and people could go to the seashore outside and come in as they pleased. But in time of war, the gates would be closed. During war times, the gates of this city they were closed altogether. People were restricted from coming in and going out of the city through this gate. And then the city was like a strong fortress, quite safe from all attack, protected by the walls surrounding it, as well as by the hills behind. Thus, Troy was a strong city. How was this city? It was very strong, strongly protected by its walls and strongly defended by its brave soldiers. See, children, when the soldiers are brave, when the city is strong, when the people are honest, naturally that city hardly suffers dangers from the enemies. But all the kings and heroes of Greece had declared war against the Trojans. Now, why Greece they had to declare war against the Trojans? Because Paris, a prince of Troy, had persuaded Helen. Persuaded he just Helen, wife of Greece, a Greece king Menelaus, to elope with him. He persuaded, he just uh, I can say mesmerized her, or he convinced her in such a way that she just left her own kingdom and followed Paris. He had brought her to Troy. The Greeks wanted to take revenge on Troy for the wrong done to Menelaus. Naturally, the people of Greece, they were not happy as they had to face this humiliation of their queen being carried away by some another kingdom's prince. They sailed to Troy and laid siege. Siege means war to the city. The Trojans too fought hard and the siege continued for 10 long years. Children, in the coming video, in the next video, we will continue with the remaining part of the explanation of the lesson. Thank you.